It sits there on the oak wood, a sleek and dark rectangle, a portal to a world that now feels impossibly fickle. I charge it every evening, a ritual of hope that maybe in the nighttime is the one way I can cope with the endless stretching quiet, with the not knowing and the dread that lives inside the blackness of the screen beside my bed. This silent phone is screaming with the things it doesn't say. No good morning message to illuminate the day. No how was work that evening. No good night, my love, sweet dreams. Just a blank and glassy surface reflecting lonely beams of the hallway light that's burning for a call that's never made. Oh, the silent phone is the loneliest friend I've ever paid. And I check for phantom vibrations, a cruel trick of the mind, a memory of connection that I'm desperate still to find. I scroll through ancient conversations, a museum of we, a digital headstone for what used to be. And I type out new ones, paragraphs of raw unpenned thought, and delete them just as quickly. Battles painfully fought. This silent phone is screaming with the things it doesn't say. No good morning message to illuminate the day. No how was work that evening. No good night, my love, sweet dreams. Just a blank and glassy surface reflecting lonely beams of the hallway light that's burning for a call that's never made. Oh, the silence phone is the loneliest friend I've ever paid. I could call a friend or family just to hear a human sound, but it's not the sound I'm craving. It's the one that can't be found in any other number, in any other name. It's a specific frequency, a singular lost flame. So the device remains an altar to a God that doesn't call, and I am its devoted, waiting for a fall. Silence, the loudest object I have ever known.
The track ends with the sound of a faint digital notification ping that is instantly muffled and cut off, followed by complete silence.
I used to hum it to you when the nightmares made you cry. A simple, silly melody beneath the painted sky of stars stuck to our ceiling, a galaxy of peace. I'd sing until your breathing found a gentle, slow release. It was our secret language, a tune for just us two, a promise in the darkness that I'd always see you through. Now it's just a broken lullaby, a song that I can't finish. The notes get caught like barbs inside the place where love grew thinnish. I try to start the chords, but the words all twist and choke. Remembering the small warm hand in mine, the words you spoke, singing forever, mama. But forever came too fast, and this broken lullaby is all that's left to last. I found the old stuffed rabbit, the one you'd hold so tight. It still sits on your pillow in the absence of the light. I picked it up and held it on the first few bars so low, but the silence in the nursery told me everything I know. That you've outgrown my singing, you've outgrown this little room, you've outgrown the need for me to chase away the gloom. Now it's just a broken lullaby, a song that I can't finish. The notes get caught like barbs inside the place where love grew thinnish. I try to start the chords, but the words all twist and choke. Remembering the small warm hand in mine, the words you spoke, singing forever, mama. But forever came too fast, and this broken lullaby is all that's left to last. Maybe all lullabies are meant to break. It's their design to be outgrown and left behind, a sweet and fading line between the child and adult, between the hold and the release. But knowing that it's logic and it offers no peace. To the mother in the hallway with a melody that dies on her lips, a broken lullaby beneath the dull-side skies. Hush, little, don't you, broken lullaby. Good night.
The song ends with the sound of a music box winding down, playing the first few fractured notes of the lullaby melody before stopping abruptly.
It taps inside my temple, a ghost of a refrain, a sequence of 5 notes that brings a dull, familiar pain. I rush to find the piano, to trap it in the air, to give this aching feeling a shape I can't compare to something real. But by the time my fingers find the key, the melody's forgotten, it slipped away from me. A forgotten melody, the soundtrack of our end, a tune I can't remember, but on which I still depend. To understand the loss, to justify the tears, a song that played between us for so many perfect years. Now it's just a pressure, a rhythm in my blood with no beginning, middle, end, just a silent pounding flood. Was it something you would hum while cooking dinner late? The chorus from a road trip, sealing our shared fate. The opening of that song, the one we called our own. Now it's just a neural pathway, overgrown and prone to shorting out. Is the cruelest kind of memory to know I've lost the music but kept the misery. A forgotten melody, the soundtrack of our end, a tune I can't remember, but on which I still depend. To understand the loss, to justify the tears, a song that played between us for so many perfect years. Now it's just a pressure, a rhythm in my blood with no beginning, middle, end, just a silent pounding flood. Maybe my mind is protecting me, a merciful erase of the specific beauty I can no longer face. Because if I could hear it clear in perfect piercing tone, it would surely break the fragile piece I built here on my own. So it stays a half-remembered sigh, almost call refrain, the most beautiful and painful loss again and again. How did it go? Forgotten melody, play for me just once.
The piano searches, playing fragmented, unresolved chords, never finding the melody before trailing off into silence.
Away. I never turned the deadbolt, I never slid the chain. A ridiculous, persistent, superstitious kind of strain on logic every evening. As I climb the stairs to bed, I glance back at the entryway, a thought inside my head. What if you come to your senses? What if the night is cold? What if you need a harbor and our story's not quite told? It's just a door left open, a crack of foolish light, a gamble against darkness, a stand against the night. It whispers invitation invitations to the shadows and the breeze, and all the what if demons that are lurking in the trees. Oh, the door left open, it's my most desperate prayer, casting wooden hinges on the off chance you're still there. The neighbors think I'm careless, they've mentioned it twice to me. A safety risk, they murmur with concerned authority. They don't understand it's not a lock that I forgot, it's a covenant I'm keeping with a ghost, a sacred spot where possibility still lingers like a scent upon the air, a tangible expression of my insufficient care. It's just the door left open, a crack of foolish light, a gamble against darkness, a stand against the night. It whispered invitations to the shadows and the breeze, and all the what if demons that are lurking in the trees. Oh, the door left open, it's my most desperate prayer, casting wooden hinges on the off chance you're still there. One day a storm will blow it shut, a final closing slam, or I'll grow tired of the draft, and the woman I am will walk down, turn the lock and feel the solid click of an ending. My heart will probably feel sick, but until then it stays that way, a passage and a plea. The door left open for a maybe that will never be. Just a crack, to a ceiling of bruised violet and gray, a blanket pulled across the sun to mute the coming day. The clouds aren't racing playful, they're a slow and solemn march, a funeral procession over my suburban arch. The wind has dropped its whisper, the birds have tucked their song. The whole world wears the colors of a feeling lasting long. This morning sky reflects the weather in my soul, a vast and tender aching, taking back control. It doesn't threaten thunder, doesn't promise any rain, just holds the heavy beauty of a universal pain. Oh, this morning sky, it's a cathedral dome of blue, a perfect patient mirror of the grief I'm moving through. They see a gloomy Tuesday, just a meteorological fact. But I see a companion in the delicate exact shade of my surrender. It's a canvas wide and deep, where all my wordless sorrows are allowed to softly sleep. This morning sky reflects the weather in my soul, a vast and tender aching, taking back control. It doesn't threaten thunder, doesn't promise any rain, just holds the heavy beauty of a universal pain. Oh, this morning sky, it's a cathedral dome of blue, a perfect patient mirror of the grief I'm moving through. Maybe tomorrow it will blaze with blinding gold to see, but for today it matches me, from my head down to my feet, in melancholy splendor. And there's comfort in the match, to not be the only broken thing the dawn forgot to patch us. We will wear our mourning hues, the sky and I as one, until the painful, beautiful transition's done. Stay gray a while, morning sky, keep your soft light a little longer. The paint is peeling slightly on the chains that hold it still, a relic of a summer that time could never kill. We hung it up together, laughing in the noonday blaze, promising a future of our lazy rocking days, with lemonade and fireflies and stories we would weave. But now it holds the absence of the promises we'd leave. This empty porch swing creaks a lonely one, no song for conversations finished, for a love that didn't last long. It sways with just the memory of your weight against my side, a phantom rhythm in the evening tide. Oh, this empty porch swing, it's a monument to them, waiting for a passenger that won't be back again. I see our neighbors' children pushing off with happy feet, their laughter like a dagger, making my retreat inside where shadows linger. And I don't have to see the space where you should be, right here next to me. But that feels like admitting that our future is truly dead. So let it wear the seasons, let the rust begin to set. A silent swinging sentinel for a sun that's nearly set on us. Let the spider spin their lace on his vacant wooden plane. A new kind of companionship to ease the silent pain. Swing alone, empty porch swing in the twilight for no one, for no one. I shatter your name in the canyon of my mind, just to hear the shape of it, the resonance I'd find. It came back at first, so bold, so clear, a perfect sharp reply, a ghost of my own voice beneath a digital sky. But each returning iteration grew a little more unsure, a little softer, weaker, a little less pure. Now it's just a fading echo, a whisper of a sound, losing its intention. Say your name now, it just says lost and gone, a dying repetition of a solitary soul. All this fading echo, it's the sound of me alone, forgetting the exact pitch of the love I've always known. I try to feed a memory, to give the sound a source. I play our old voicemails, I try to set a course back to the original, the vibrant living core. But the echo's getting tired, and it doesn't care at all. Attempts at revival, it just wants to disappear into the white noise background of this empty, soundless year. Now it's just a fading echo, a whisper of a sound, losing its intention. Sacrifice his breath to silence. Maybe holding on is what distorts the tone, turns a perfect memory into a suffering drone. So I'll stop calling out, I'll let the quiet wind, let the fading echo finish, and a new sound begin. Fading it high and mighty, with a candle in a first touch, with whispered plans at midnight. We loved a little much for the few we had allotted. We fed it with our days, with fights that turned to laughter in 100 different ways. But the logs grew down with silence, with things we didn't say, and the passionate wild burning just couldn't find a way. Now it's just a fading fire, embers losing their fight, a memory of the inferno that once lit up the night. We huddle closer, but the heat's not reaching either skin. Just a nostalgic dying light on the things that might have been. Oh, this fading fire, we're just watching it burn low, tending to the ashes of a love we used to know. I poke at it half-heartedly. You had a brittle twig, but it only makes a fleeting, half-committed sprig of flame that dies as quickly as the promises we make to try harder, to be better for each other's sake. The smoke is getting lazy, it just curls and disappears into the cold night air, confirming all our fears. Now it's just a fading fire, embers losing their fight, a memory of the inferno that once lit up the night. We huddle closer, but the heat's not reaching either skin. Just a nostalgic dying light on the things that might have been. Oh, this fading fire, we're just watching it burn low, tending to the ashes of a love we used to know. Do we let it go to blackness, let the cold come rushing in? Or do we blow on dying coals and risk the smoke, the sin of choking on the remnants? Maybe some fires aren't meant to be revived, but to be spent completely, to leave behind a bed of soft warm gray, a foundation for a different, colder kind of day. Just embers now, fading fire. Good night. We knew it in the holding before a word was said, a tightening of muscles, a leaning of the head, your chin upon my shoulder, my face against your chest, a desperate silent memorizing of the way we pressed the map of one another for the very final time, turning simple closeness different. It was a living tomb. It held the scent of always and the taste of ending soon. My arms knew they were letting go, even as they held on tight. A contradiction burning in the fading evening light. Oh, that last embrace, it wasn't love, it was a deep goodbye. A physical I'm sorry whispered to the sky. I felt your heartbeat falter, a stutter in the rhyme that used to be so steady, keeping perfect time. When your hands upon my back were spelling out the end, engraved upon my skin a message you wouldn't send with words. We stood the statues in the hallway by the door, pouring everything we had into a touch and nothing more. That last embrace was different. It was a living tomb. It held the scent of always and the taste of ending soon. My arms knew they were letting go, even as they held on tight. A contradiction burning in the fading evening light. Oh, that last embrace, it wasn't love, it was a deep goodbye. A physical I'm sorry whispered to the sky. If I could have the moment back, I'd break the bones of time. I'd freeze us in that hallway, in that bittersweet pantomime of love. I'd never let my arms unlock. I'd fuse my skin to yours, make our two separate bodies into one of single pores. But time is a cruel river, and it pulled us right apart, leaving just a phantom pressure on the landscape of my heart. You let go, I let go. Last embrace, now just space. The orchestra reaches a powerful, emotional peak on the final chorus, then drops away suddenly on the word space, leaving only a single, decaying piano note. I watch it from my window, a tired yellow eye, dragging its reflection down the blackness of the sky. It doesn't blaze with silver, it doesn't claim the night. It just surrenders slowly, giving up the fight against the coming dawn. A beautiful defeat, a mirror to my spirit, feeling obsolete. Oh, sinking moon, I feel you slow and graceful drown. You're pulling all my hopes down, you're weighting my heart down. You don't fight the horizon, you let it take your light. A lesson in acceptance and fading from the night. Sinking moon, your journey is the one I'm traveling to. A slow and quiet disappearing, with the world made new and blue. have to release it and reluctantly let go. I trace your path downward with my fingertip on glass, knowing all bright things must reach their hour and must pass. So sinking moon, I feel you slow and graceful drown. You're pulling all my hopes down. You're weighting my heart down. You don't fight the horizon, you let it take your life. A lesson in acceptance and fading from the night. Sinking moon, your journey is the one I'm traveling to. A slow and quiet disappearing with the world made new. Maybe when you vanish, you don't die. You just transform into the hidden potential of the coming morning storm, or the heat that fuels the sunrise. Maybe that's my fate as well, to be absorbed by daylight. A different story to tell, but for now we share this vigil, a slow and sweet descent. Two lonely lights acknowledging the place their fire went. Go on, sinking moon, take my night with you. I'll follow soon. She stopped watching the driveway for the shape of your car. Took your toothbrush from the cup, threw it out of far. She changed the morning playlist, deleted our sad song. She's been reclaiming minutes that to you for so long. But long the clock ticks just for her now, a steady solo beat. No longer paused in midair, awaiting your retreat. She waits no more, the vigil is done, the candle's blown. The hope that kept her frozen is finally overgrown. It's case she's tired of being a statue in the hall, a monument to patience, waiting for a call that twists the air to static. Oh, she waits no more. She's turning her own key in a different, sturdier door. For one now, to a place you never go. She buys the food you hate and lets the spicy flavors grow. On her tongue she sleeps starfish in the center of the bed, no longer clinging tightly to the far and lonely edge. You left, she's learning all the lyrics to her own desire, stoking her own forgotten independent fires. She waits no more, the vigil's done, the candle's blown. The hope that kept her frozen is finally overgrown. It's case she's tired of being a statue in the hall, a monument to patience, waiting for a call that twists the air to static. Oh, she waits no more. She's Stop feeding it a future. Stop letting the ember burn. Her hand, she's building something from the ashes and the stone. A fortress for a soul that's learning to stand alone. The waiting was a prison with you holding not the key, but the illusion of it. Now she's setting herself free. Her time is hers, her life begins. It lives inside a velvet box, a small and weighted sphere of platinum and promise, and a solitary tear that fell the day I placed it there and closed the lid on, yes, on the future I envisioned, on a happiness, a mess of what could be as perfect, a simple band of light, a circle with no ending for love that lost its fight. This sun-worn ring is a question without sound. Oh, water is spinning silently on velvet ground. It holds the weight of your proposal, of the hope within your eyes. Now it just holds the echo of my shattered soft replies. Oh, take it out on rainy nights, let it catch the lamplight's gleam, a cold and perfect symbol of a derelict dream. It fits my finger perfectly, as if it were designed by fate itself, a crueler trick I've yet to find. In this perfect, untarnished, never kissed by skin, token of a beginning that visits this small box and shoulders all the blame. Never worn, unworn ring, a perfect circle with no end and no beginning. sea, leaving the piano to play the final pellic melody alone. Andy on unresolved, questioning chord. They arrived on a Tuesday, a burst of crimson cheer, apology and petals for a doubt, a hidden fear. I put them in a crystal vase, the one we got for wine, and watched them try to own the room in a hesitant design. They were so full of promise, of a love that could renew. But even with fresh water, I think somehow they knew. Now they're just wilted roses, heads bowed low in shame, a metaphor too perfect, bearing your name. The petals curling black and at the edges letting go, a slow motion performance of a final silent no. All these wilted roses, they're the truth we couldn't speak, that even the most beautiful love can grow too weak. I should throw them in the compost, return them to the earth, acknowledge that their moment is past, assess their worth. But they still hold a grandeur, a tragic, graceful pose, a reminder of the beauty before the curtain closed. So I let them stand as sculpture in the crumbling, dry despair, a centerpiece of honesty in the center of the air. Now they're just wilted roses, heads bowed low in shame, a metaphor too perfect, bearing your name. The petals curling black and at the edges letting go, a slow motion performance of a final silent note. All these wilted roses, they're the truth we couldn't speak, that even the most beautiful love can grow too weak. Maybe all of is cut flowers, severed from its root, destined for a stunned display. Then following the root of all things temporal, we just pretend it's evergreen. Ignore the water getting cloudy, the fading of the sheen. These roses did their duty, they blazed and then they died. A more honest epitaph than if they lied. Let them be wilted roses, their own kind of beauty now, dusty, dry and true. A slow, dignified piano melody plays out, accompanied by a soft brush snare and a deep sail line, fading with a sense of resentfinality. I haven't sat here in months, this little padded stool, before the trip-ditch mirror that once reflected cool assessments of my makeup with you leaning on the door, offering opinions, making my reflection more than just a face. You'd say that lipstick is too bold. Oh, wear your hair down tonight, a story to be told. Now it's just a dusty vanity, a museum of before, a surface filmed with absence behind a locked door. The powders have all hardened, the perfumes turned to scent of regret. Each bottle is a monument to a woman who believed the mirror when it lied, and saw a future shining brightly by your side. I trace a line through powder on the glass, a clean, stark trail, revealing the reflection of a face that's growing pale from lack of use. The eyes that stare back look confused, as if they've been forgotten, as if they've been unused. To be insane, I used to practice smiles right here. For you now the only practice is to fight back tears. Now it's just a dusty vanity, a museum of before, a surface filmed with absence behind a locked door. The powders have all hardened, the perfumes turn to scent of regret. Each bottle is a monument to a woman who believed the mirror when it lied, and saw a future shining brightly by your side. Should I clean it, polish it, start the ritual anew? But the ritual required an audience of you. To be complete without your gaze, the mascara one feels dead. A tool without a purpose, a thing unsaid. So let the dust keep gathering, a soft and silent sheet over the archaeology of something once so sweet. Let it be dusty vanity, a tomb for a quieter beauty. Washed the sheets 1,000 times, lavender and pine. I viewed out every closet, where your jacket used to twine with might have scrubbed 1,000 tiles, have polished every shelf, trying to exercise the ghost you all lifted yourself. But in a sudden random moment, turn in a certain way. A phantom mode ambushes name steals my breath away. It's your vanished perfume, a whisper in the air, a scent memory so potent it's almost unfair. Jasmine sandalwood, a spice I can't quite name, a signature of you that plays a haunting cool game. It starts me in my chest, and for a second you are near, and it's gone, the vanished perfume, leaving only empty here. It's not in any bottle left behind, no concrete source. It's the echo of a skin, the essence of your force. The listen woven fabrics in the pages of a book you once read in a corner that I never thought took. It's the most dose of ghosts because you can't pin down a smell. It just lies and tells the story it was meant to tell. It's your vanished perfume, a whisper in the air, a scent memory so potent it's almost unfair. Jasmine sandalwood, a spice I can't quite name, a signature of you that plays a haunting cruel game. It stops me in my tracks, and for a second you aren't here, then it's gone, your vanished perfume, leaving only empty here. They say since the strongest tie to memory, a direct climb to the past, all minds a blueberry tribe of volatile and of happiness so sharp because of intimacy so deep that when the air is empty again I fall apart and weep for a thing I cannot see or hold, the fragrance on the breeze, the most beautiful and painful of all vanishing ex-queens. Breathe in, nothing, vanished perfume, just my mind. The music fades to repeat. The morning light is judgmental, it stripes across the floor. and highlights every wrinkle, every shadow, every pore of the tangled sad confession that I haven't put away. The nest of my depression from the night and yesterday. I used to make it neatly, hospital corners tight, a small control accomplishments to start the morning right. Now it's just an unmade bed, a map of where I've lain, a canvas of my restless dreams, and slowly seeping pain. The pillows hold the hollows where my head and heart gave in to missing you, to wondering where I should begin to fix this mess. Oh, this unmade bed is my most honest start, a portrait of the unmade pieces of my heart. One side is still pristine, the sheets pulled smooth and flat, a no man's land of cotton, a diplomatic fact that you were gone. My side's a storm of blankets and despair, a cave I built to hide in from the too bright caring air. It's easier to stay here in the evidence of fall than to make it up and pretend there's order here at all. Now it's just an unmade bed, a map of where I've lain, a canvas of my restless dreams, and slowly seeping pain. The pillows hold the hollows where my head and heart gave in to missing you, to wondering where I should begin to fix this mess. Oh, this unmade bed, it's my most honest start, a portrait of the unmade pieces of my heart. Maybe tomorrow I'll find the strength to straighten out the seams, to tuck in all the loose ends, to support my waking dreams. But for now it stays like this, a testament, a flag of surrender to the sadness, to the thing I cannot nag into submission. It's my kingdom of disarray, and I'm its reluctant queen at the end of day. Just leave it. Unmade bed, my temporary tomb, my temporary Headlights of a passing car, they climb across the room, slow and silent predator emerging from the gloom. And in that brief and yellow wash, for just a second span, the physics of the light betrays the outline of a man. Your height, a slope of shoulder cast upon the plaster white, a perfect dark companion for the loneliness of the night. Just a shadow on the wall, a trick of angle dust and fear, the ghost of you I've conjured from the things I hold most dear. It has no face, no detail, just a silhouette of lack, a negative space portrait of the love I can't take back. Oh, the shadow on the wall, it's my most faithful guess to prove that memory is solid in the darkness of my chest. I don't dare to turn the lamp on, for the light will make it flee. This fragile, fleeting company you've left for me. So I lie here in the darkness and I wait for the next car to bring you back in shadow form. However brief you are is not enough to hold me, but it's enough to prove that even in your absence you are something I can't move. Just a shadow on the wall, a trick of angle dust and fear, the ghost of you I've conjured from the things I hold most dear. It has no face, no detail, just a silhouette of lack, a negative space portrait of the love I can't take back. Oh, the shadow on the wall, it's my most faithful guess to prove that memory is solid in the darkness of my chest. Science says it's just an object blocking out a beam, but science never loved you, never chased a waking dream. Across the flat landscape of a lonely bedroom wall, science never wept to see the darkness rise and fall. In the shape of missing soul, I'll take my phantom show, a nightly passing visitation from the you I used to know. Stay just a little longer. Shadow on the wall, fade with the dawn.
The music is minimal, a single repeating piano note in deep, breathy pads, the sound of a distant car passing. Its headlight effect simulated with a soft swell of sound, then fading.
It's not the noise of traffic or the city's distant roar. It's not the sound of silence I am used to anymore. This is a different creature, with a weight and with a taste, a quiet that's not peaceful, but a painful wasted space. It presses on my eardrums, a low and constant tone of everything we didn't say and left completely alone. This aching quiet screams inside the hollow of my chest. It's the echo of your laughter, now put finally to rest. It's the space between the heartbeats, where your voice used to reside. A vacuum filled with longing I can no longer hide. Oh, this aching quiet is the loudest sound I know, a constant quiet torment with nowhere left to go. Fill it with the television, with the radio's cheap talk. But the second that I mute them, the aching quiet walks right back in and sits down like it owns the easy chair and breathes its empty breath into the stagnant dusty air. It's in the closet stillness and the refrigerator sees a presence made of absence, offering no release. This aching quiet screams inside the hollow of my chest. It's the echo of your laughter, now put finally to rest. It's the space between the heartbeats, where your voice used to reside. A vacuum filled with longing I can no longer hide. Oh, this aching quiet is the loudest sound I know. A constant quiet torment with nowhere left to go. I'd give anything for noise, a shout, a slam door, a fight. Anything to prove we both still had the will to light a spark, but you left softly, taking all the sound with you, leaving me this perfect, painful, aching quiet to get through. A symphony of nothing, conducted by my grief, where the only instrument is my belief. So quiet, this aching quiet never ends. The summer in her soul has packed its golden light and fled, left a crisp and clear December living in her head. The birds have all gone southward, taking all their song with them, leaving just the bony branches, a stark and lonely hymn. She doesn't fight the frost now, she lets it coat her skin. A permanent and private season settling in. This is her winter, it's not a passing phase. It's the landscape of her heart now, for the rest of her days. The sun is weak and distant, offering no heat, just a pretty pale reminder of a lost and obsolete warmth. Oh, this a winter, it's quiet and it's deep, and the love that was her harvest is a memory she'll keep. She wears the cold like armor, glittering sharp a protection from the pity that other seasons hail. You'll thaw, they say, with kindness when the new year turns the page. But they don't understand, this is her permanent chosen cage. The flowers are all buried, the river's locked in ice, and in this frozen stillness she finds a kind of price. This is her winter, it's not a passing phase. It's the landscape of her heart now for the rest of her days. The sun is weak and distant, offering no heat, just a pretty pale reminder of a lost and obsolete warmth. Oh, this her winter, it's quiet and it's deep. That was a harvest is a memory she'll keep. Maybe in another lifetime she was spring or riot bloom, but that girl was swept away in a devastating monsoon. Of goodbye, what's left is permafrost, the stability of ache. A world where nothing grows and nothing else can break. And there's a peace in that, a solemn stark release, in embracing the eternal, frozen masterpiece. Her winter, her winter, never spring. The doctor says I'm healthy, my EKG's aligned, a perfect steady rhythm, a testament just fine to muscle and to biology, a pump that does its job. But she's not listening to the ache, the deep and constant throb that isn't in the chambers, it's in the cavity, the empty echoing cavern where you used to be with me. I've got a hollow chest, a cavern carved from used to be, where my heart beats like a stranger, a prisoner not free. It rattles in the vacancy, a lonely tiny stone trying to fill a canyon with a resonance all its own. Oh, this hollow chest, it's an architectural feat of loss, a hollow monument where love and heartbeat meet. Laughter doesn't fill it, it just echoes off the walls, a mocking bouncing chorus before the silence falls. Food turns into ashes, music into noise. Nothing has the volume to fill the void of joys that you took with you when you left. Now every breath I take just circulates the emptiness from my own hollow state. I've got a hollow chest, They say time fills all spaces with new memories, new light. But what if some excavations are too profound, too deep and wide? What if the emptiness becomes the structure of the whole? And moving on just means learning how to be alone inside this ribbed cathedral with this acoustics of regret, where the only prayer that echoes is the one I can't forget. Just hollow. The music reduces to just the deep, sub-bass heartbeat and a single repeating, desolate synth note that fades into nothing.